All right, and welcome back to Limeade 1.0, presented by Lime City. We have Metal Gear Solid 3 once again on deck, but it is Tuxedo Run on European Extreme. Take it away, guys.
Thanks very much. Hi everyone. I'm ApacheSmash. I'm with Mayu, and I'm going to be running, as he said, European Extreme with the Tuxedo. I started. Sorry, I'll go in 3, 2, 1, go. Sorry about that. I forgot I have to count down. I've been running this marathon for like 2 days and forget what I'm doing. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, European Extreme with the Tuxedo. I've been doing this for like a week, so it's not exactly where it's at yet, and there will be mistakes, but I hope you'll enjoy it all the same. And I'll let Mayu explain kind of what the Tuxedo means for the run.
Yeah, the Tuxedo basically means your camouflage. I can't talk. Jesus. Like. Up on the right, you see like the number which constantly changes. This is like your camouflage index, and with the Tuxedo, it's basically almost on minus 45, which means the guards will see you from way too far away.
Yeah, we're basically stick out like a sore thumb in our suit. Before I can pick it up, I have to go retrieve my backpack first. So now we've got that, I can put it on. The virtuous mission is kind of difficult in the Tuxedo. So there's a couple of rooms that are a little bit different. Mostly we're just going to get spotted from way further away, so we have to acknowledge that.
Yeah, so basically he's doing the highest difficulty and makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, so European Extreme, just for anyone who's unaware, is automatic game over if discovered. So if at any point the guards see us, and it's very easy for them to see us, we'll get a continue screen and we'll have to restart the room. I'm sure that will come up in the run.
Hopefully not.
So just in this area we're going to avoid some crocodiles. As long as you run over the middle of them towards the head, they won't do a tail swipe attack, so it's much better if we avoid that. I'm just going to change my game audio level a bit because it's so loud for me and my earphones. Alright, we're all good.
So right now we are coming to the first screen, which has guard in them. Basically, he has to shoot the first guard from pretty far away, because otherwise he will spot him. So with a trank gun, if you hit the guard in the head, they will be instantly knocked out. But if you hit them in the body and roll into them, it basically does the same. And there you could see like the best hitbox ever programmed.
Yeah, it's something that they kept in the Smash games as well. Like Snake's roll in the Smash games also has a massive hitbox on his dash attack, and I thought that was a really nice touch. Oh crap! So if you shoot behind the guards, there's a third guard at the back of the room that will go onto his radio, and normally that's okay, but because I stick out like such a sore thumb, the guard can see me from so much further away. So normally we would distract that guard and then roll into him. I may still get caught here because there's a backup unit coming into the room, and I have to hit this load zone before them, so that's okay. That's fine. That was a little bit more involved than it needed to be. So this is the hardest screen of the Virtuous mission, but fortunately I'm just going to do kind of like a safety strat.
Yeah, basically he just shoots all the guards from like the starting point. So normally you will just shoot one guard, then there we have our first continue.
So yeah, I just wanted to show that off, that if you get seen by a guard, you get a continue.
It's all manipulation. We just was just now in dreaming up.
What that does is it guarantees them perfect loop later on in the Shago hospital.
I sure hope so. So I've hit him twice in the chest. I'm literally just going to wait for him to go down before I move on. This room shouldn't be that hard, but I'm just a little bit nervous, guys, so my hands are not working exactly how I want them to. Oh my god. Right, I'm just not going to talk.
This is actually the first time that a Tuxedo speedrun has ever been done in a marathon setting. And as far as I know, even the first time it's ever been done in a single segment speedrun, because all of the tuxedo speedruns that we could find were all done multi-segment because there's quite a few rooms that become very challenging when you put on the tuxedo. So it's going to actually be very fun to see how Apache handles those rooms.
Yeah, and I will also try to explain like a normal strat. Like if you do a normal run, I will try to explain that as well.
I was absolutely determined to not get another frigging continue on this room. Like, that's the most safe. That's the most safety you can take that room in. But yeah, we've done the virtuous mission. So everything's all good now. The rest of the game's easy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Hardest part done. So, yeah. And when we have a little time, Bart just donated $5 with no message.
Thank you.
Highly appreciated.
So I did put a conservative estimate on this of 140, which I'm sure I can stay within. And that really does account for my newness to this kind of run. This is something I want to get really good at, to the point where I can single segment this with no continues.
Yeah.
I've done
so
this.
Here... Oh, sorry. I just
Yeah,
wanted
you're
to
okay.
say here I don't know. Snake was clumsy. He just fell off the bridge. And here in the cure menu, you actually have 4 cats and 2 broken bones. And for the you cure 3 cats, then you just tap up to get to the 4th cut, which will make the menuing on the cure screen way more easy. And you don't have to go through all of the stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a minor menu optimization that makes that much faster. Saves about a second, but it's used on every single difficulty. You always do that cure menu the same, so it's worth learning. Right now, at the start of Snake Eater, if everyone just looks away for a minute while I do the first room with the 2 guards without the tuxedo on, and everyone pretends like I actually did it with the tuxedo on, that would be great. The first room with guards in Snake Eater, it's with the tuxedo. There are like a couple of strats for it. One of them requires a frame perfect roll, otherwise you get a continue, and the other one is just so slow. You have to like eliminate every guard in the room. So we're just literally not going to equip the tuxedo until after this one room, and that will overall make the run more interesting. In future, I will do the strat and I'll like nerd it out and learn the frame perfect roll, but it's so friggin' precise, and the room isn't like that much faster. It's like ridiculously slow still, and it's just kind of like a bit dull.
Yeah, and what you saw here, it was like a footstep cancel. On some ground, you can, if Snake pulls out the pin of a grenade, the guards can hear his footsteps, so he used it to just go behind the guard. Otherwise, he would have heard him.
Yeah, and the footstep cancel works on every bit of terrain that we need it to work on, which is fortunate, but it doesn't actually work everywhere. So normally here, you would just run down this bridge, but because the tuxedo has a lower camo index, we have to roll, which removes, increase our camo index by 5 to 10%. So if we don't roll down that bridge, we'll get seen. And now I'm coming up to the first boss of the run, which is the Ocelot unit, which is hell on any difficulty. More so with the tuxedo, just because everything has to be that little bit faster and your movement has to be that little bit more precise. We're going to pick up a box here. This is the most important object in the whole game.
It's general consensus among speedrunners that if we were offered the box or stealth camouflage, we would generally take the box. It's that useful. Because it lets you walk up hills quickly, and it just completely breaks guard AI. It's awesome. It's way better than stealth.
From a pure speed standpoint, you would finish the game faster with the box than stealth camouflage, which I think is pretty funny.
So here just comes a little menu, where we also equip the box. And now, the Ocelot unit. We're gonna shoot the first guard out here. The shot has to come before they say move for the first time. And this shot has to be very precise because it has to be a headshot for the third guard can either be a headshot or a body shot. Then he will lean out to throw the stun, which will knock out all the guards. Just for safety, look around. The guard up top can see us because of the leaning, which was explained in the boss, the boss rush, or what was it called for?
Yeah,
what
boss
made
duel.
it before? Boss duel, sorry. So, and normally you would just walk up and shoot a guard, but you can't in Tuxedo because he can see you from so far away. So this means you have to stand behind the edge and just poke out and shoot him like that.
Yeah, normally we would just run out and immediately headshot that guard. But because his vision, well, not his vision stays the same, but I'm more seeable. You will immediately get an alert if you do that. So you have to walk Snake up very carefully to the corner and then peek out so you can get him. But that wasn't too bad. I'm pretty happy with that Ocelot unit there. So this area will stay mostly the same. Something I do a little bit different from other European Extreme runners. Most people use the bug juice in the water here. But what I'll do is I'll just let the leech attach to me because there's a leech that drains your stamina here. And then I'll just remove it when I get out of the water at the other side. We'll roll for that codec. When there's two mandatory codecs like that in the run, and you always want to roll into them, just makes it out a little bit faster. Alright, this next room's hell, so I'm just not going to talk.
Yeah, so this room is pretty precise. There's also if you have your higher camouflage index, it's a bit easier, but not easy. So normally he will just distract the dark with a shot, which will distract the guard as well. But here he has to take them out both, otherwise he will just get seen.
This is one of the worst rooms to take a continue in as well, just because it's so long. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
The only room that might be longer is Mountains 2. This is a ridiculously long room. Both of those rooms are really bad to take a continue in.
Yeah.
That guard saw me really late, so I'm not actually sure what the cycle is. So I'll know once I take out this dog whether it's okay or not. No, it's not. We're okay. Somehow we're okay.
Nice.
That literally shouldn't happen.
All planned. It was all planned.
When that dog barked, my whole life flashed before my eyes. This little room before Ocelot is normally, even on Euros, quite simple. You just take out one guard, but because the visions are so extended, I'm going to have to do a little bit more of a cleanup. So I'll take out this first guard, and then I want to shoot the barrels over here. Oh god. It's really easy to hit the fence instead of the barrel. So there's one guard left up, but he's in a weird position, so he can't actually look over at me. But we are on a timer, because we have to get to that load zone, because that's where the backup guards come from.
Now it's Ocelot. Said they will throw stun, then shoot Ocelot. Throw the stun again, and then after the second stun you will shoot a goat. This is just to manipulate Ocelot because you will react to the goat being shot.
Nice, that was a textbook Ocelot.
This was a perfect Ocelot.
Yeah, so he actually turned around for the first stun grenade, which means normally it would break the loop, but I just thought I'd risk it because it was the first shot and throw the second one. When he turns around, he can sometimes acknowledge the stun grenade and then roll into a position where he's still vulnerable to the stun, and it's like a 50-50 whether that's going to happen or not. So if he had just broken the loop, I probably would have just reset the fight, but it actually turned out quite fine. As far as the Tuxedo run goes, from here until the lab, it's pretty much the same as European Extreme. I think that's partly because it's nighttime and the Tuxedo has really good camo at night, and also the boss fights relatively stay the same. The biggest difference with boss fights is when you have to use CQC, such as the boss and Volgin. You can't actually use CQC at all in the Tuxedo, it doesn't let you.
You can just like parry them, like in the last fight you can just parry the boss, but you can't really like slam her into the ground like you would normally do.
Yeah, so you can't do like a traditional loop of her. And yeah, so when I first explained this run to someone, I was like, yeah, you use the Tuxedo and you can't use CQC. They were like, is that a rule or something? It's like, no, it literally won't let you. I don't know why. Is it something like James Bond wouldn't use CQC or something? Because I've seen him using CQC in those films. Yeah. It's just kind of I don't know what the reason is. It's sort of like half works like a sign. It's kind of like one of the costumes, but you can still use guns in it. It's a weird thing.
So now we come to the pain. You saw him throw a smoke grenade there. This is basically just normally you will put up a shield of hornets and the smoke grenade just gets rid of it. So the pain has a really weird hitbox with his head.
Weird, yeah, it's a good way to describe it. It's like 4 pixels.
And it's not even head shaped. It's terrible. So here he's using a little glitch that they accidentally added in the HD collection when they made this game run at 60 FPS. The pain launches bullet bees at the beginning of the phase 2 of that fight, but if you just stay in first person on HD because it runs at 60 FPS, they'll never hit you pretty much.
Fun fact, except for the Japanese unpatched which he's playing on, sometimes they can even hit you then.
It's not the bullet bees, it's like the swarm attack. The swarm attack on Japanese unpatched, for some reason, when you get rid of it with the smoke grenade at the start of the fight, it's got a very small chance to still reappear. But on Japanese unpatched, the chance is like 50% compared to like 5% or whatever the hell it is on, you know, the other versions. So Japanese unpatched is like gives you like the most dangerous pain fight. It also gives you a really dangerous mount in 3 as well, just because on Japanese the guard radios are shorter. The call is literally like shorter, so the caution end happens faster. We're in a box. It's a good thing.
Yeah, like normally if you walk like uphill, a snake moves slower, but I never put that in for the box. So if you wear the box, you go in at the same speed.
Yeah, we can run at full speed up hills. I'm going to ruin my suit now to swim down this lake. Something I do in European Extreme, which no one else does so far, is I normally equip the brown face paint so I don't have to get out of the water at all during this section. The tuxedo doesn't allow you to wear face paint, so you literally cannot wear face paint while you've got the tuxedo on. So what I'll do towards the end here, if my mash is good enough, I'll just nuke some of my health so I don't have to get out of the water again. Because health, in a way, doesn't really matter on European Extreme. The bosses can't really damage us, so we fight the bosses in such a way that they don't deal damage to us. So it's rare that we'll get hit by stuff, especially the next few bosses I'm going to go through. So I'm not worried about my health. The only time I really have to worry about low health is for the Fury.
And here what he just did is he quick headshotted that first guard so he wouldn't see us, because normally he'll just immediately see you as soon as you enter the room and binoculars on you and give you an alert. And also he shot the barrels behind him, which has a dual purpose. It gets rid of the guard so he can get through this room a lot faster, and also, more importantly, does damage to the end, which actually carries on into his fight. And that extra little bit of damage is critical to finishing that fight in the way that he does.
So now here we go with Warehouse 1. It's a really hard room to do.
Your rolls have to be absolutely perfect. So you're bumping into a guard and rolling, and it's making the guard on the floor above turn into a direction which is beneficial for us. They'll literally turn away from you. If it didn't work like that, or occasionally what can happen is the guard will hear the guard below being hit, but it'll still face towards the stairs, and that's like an instant alert if that happens. It's a little bit of a tricky room, but as you get used to this game, it's really not too bad. you go through. We call it Warehouse 1 because you go through that room twice, and Warehouse 2 is way harder than Warehouse 1. So normally we'd run right up to that fence and shoot the guard and ignore the dog. But with the lower camo index, the dog sees us from miles away, so we have to be more careful there.
So what Apache tried to do there was, it's a little bit faster if you actually crawl into that vent sideways, and it's kind of a hard setup. You have to be at a pretty specific angle, so you can't always get it. But that was still faster than crawling into the vent forward.
And
so
again,
here he will take out the guards.
we're gonna do lab without a scientist costume, basically. No,
Yeah.
Snake has disguises. One of them is to disguise as a scientist. Obviously, in the tuxedo run, we're not going to equip that. This is probably the hardest set of rooms in the run. You know, I will make mistakes in here. It's pretty difficult. Oh, that shouldn't happen. Okay.
Did that go through the wall?
That the room's broken. I don't know what the hell happened there. A guard should give me a caution there normally. But yeah, this is genuinely the hardest rooms in the whole run, but for sure. It's very precise what we have to kind of pull off here.
So he will shoot the
There we
wall. Now he gets a caution. He will wait for the guard. He shot him. He shot him in the body, so he could go for like the roll and the knockout when he opened the door.
And this kind of like just gets harder and harder the more you go through it. I don't even know if that hit. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna do a little buffer here. And I want to not burst this door open, I need to push it open. And I hope that the scientist goes on the... So annoying this, god damn it. I need the guard to be like on the. I need the scientist to be on the left or right side, and he was in the He was like in the middle, so I couldn't get through either gap. But I need to pick up some suppressor ammo there as well, or a new suppressor, because you use a lot of bullets in this game compared to the normal run. This is the hardest part of the whole thing.
Yeah. So he opens the door to go to there. The guards are now. Now he has to wait here until this guard comes in, reacts to the box, and he runs right out. Then you count. Once he's out, you count to 2. Go out there again.
Nope. I went too soon.
Yeah.
These rooms are hell. These rooms really are hell.
And again.
Getting the caution sooner is actually better. Because last time I got the caution from the scientist a little bit later. 1, 2. Right, we're out.
Can't stress enough how difficult that room is in the tuxedo.
Yeah.
It completely changes the way you do it.
I'm just gonna take the caution here. I'm just gonna get rid of the caution. I was gonna attempt to do the caution trap, but it's quite long and convoluted, and I've taken a few continues already, and I'd rather just get on with it. If you take a continue when you've got a caution, it wipes the caution off.
He does a 2-punch buffer. And then he uses the box to open the door.
For some reason, the box opens doors farther away than it really should be able to.
There's actually a guard that we've run past there, and we have to be very careful not to go too quickly, otherwise the guard's facing the same way of us. There is a way to kind of like, you know, just ignore that and get past them. It's a little bit more involved, and I'd rather take the extra few seconds to be a little bit safer, especially with it being, as I say, partly the more difficult rooms in the run. This outside the lab strat, it can sometimes just fail to the guard at the end. I've not really worked out why, and I'm assuming it's to do with being too slow and too fast. But hopefully, yeah, I'm getting caught because my I can't actually finish this room now. I don't think. I think the guard at the end is like going to be it took me too long to take out that guard. So there's a guard right on the east that will see me as I'm trying to leave here. The dog will also alert to me sooner than I'd want him to. But we'll try it anyways. Sometimes the game's nice to us. Not today.
Okay.
Basically, that first guard, it's so paramount that you shoot him extremely quickly. And I'm kind of relying on my auto-aim to set up a quick headshot. And auto-aim in this game can be extremely unreliable. But it was reliable that time. And as I say, this strat can just fail sometimes. And I think it might be because you can't be too quick or too slow. But I'm just getting used to the timing of it. We should be fine here. And also leaving, we have to take a very tight line. So the guard alerted to us there, the dog alerted to us there even, but we can get into the load zone just quick enough. Like when the dog barks for the second time, you're caught basically.
Yeah, this is like just a normal defuse strat.
We always wait for him to take a step towards us before we revive, but something that I'm going to do here is I'm going to do my menu after I've thrown the stun grenade. And I'm going to do a menu, a cure, and I'm going to eat as well. So I guess, right, I'm forgetting what the friggin' menus are. It's like I've never played this game before. Something that you don't see that often is people eating in the speedrun, but I haven't worked out a way to get rid of it yet. Like, we have to eat. If our stamina drops below half, our aim will shake. So, we gotta eat, basically.
Yeah, and there you saw the same again, like the camo of the fear. It's like, if he's stunned, every lethal damage gets non-lethal.
Yeah, so you generally always start fight done non-lethally because of that. Even though he used the lethal gun, the Patriot, it's draining his stamina while he's damaged by the stun grenade. This room's really hard.
Yeah, this is like... This threat is also used in the normal run. You have to land on the guard, otherwise it won't work, and it's like really precise.
Yes, we first.
And after that, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go, Major. You good? You're good.
Well, after that precise roll on the guard, he does what's called a box headshot. So basically, when you come out of the box, and if you immediately shoot your gun, Snake's auto-aim actually shoots the bullet just a little bit higher, which is just that little bit enough required to get a headshot on a guard who's looking at the box. So that's why he does that specific sequence like that.
This room leading up to the end, fortunately works almost the same as the normal European Extreme run, which is good because this room's friggin' hard and it's long as well. It's so long. Something I'm going to do though is I'm going to shake down one of the guards for an ammo package because I just noticed my bullets, I only have 7 and that's not slightly enough. So I'm going to use my incredible knowledge of the game. Also, the last shot I made with that took the silencer off, and I need the silencer off for the end, so that was completely planned. Every single shot I've made, including all the ones I missed, was all on purpose to drain my suppressor completely for this next fight. It's frame perfect suppressor. So yeah, this guard, fortunately, has Mark 22 ammo, which is what we need. This is the end. This is a very new strat, not just for Tuxedo, but for the game in general. It's incredibly convoluted. It's very difficult. It's easy to mess up. If we mess it up badly enough, we have to reset the fight as well, which is awful. But, you know, I'll try my best.
Yeah, you basically saw him there playing sniper with the Mac, because why not? So now here we'll do a 6 punch punch kick buffer. I don't know, Snake doesn't like the air or the walls. Then he will throw spot there, use the Patriot. Now he will use the stun grenade and again use the footstep cancel, because even if the Ant is an old guy, he has pretty good ears. So, and now he stunned the Ant. He will punch him now. Use the 6 spray and then he will hold him up. So he can use the 6 spray again. Throws a smoke at him.
I hope this works.
It should work. So now he's going to catch the end while he's running and get a 6 spray on him. There you go. He stopped him. One punch buff, a couple punches. Oh, just barely.
This is fine. This is fine.
So he's hopefully going to finish off the fight with a Mark 22 here.
Oh,
It's okay. He's gonna go there.
There you go.
yeah.
Really
there we
good.
go.
And that was still far, far faster than what we used to do for the end. We used to run up through 2 areas to get to him, and then loop him on that cliff where he started. But what he did instead is he dragged him down to the starting area where Snake spawns. and
Yeah,
did the loop
somehow the stuff that he did, the buffer and all, scared the end off of his position, and then he just teleported right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So basically,
He was so
when-
scared he just teleported.
when the end runs from his position, he can teleport once every 25 seconds. So that 6 punch kick buffer was basically to wait 25 seconds. After he waited the 25 seconds, he threw a smoke grenade so that way he would not be seen by the end after he teleported. Shot the Patriot, which gets the end's attention and basically makes him teleport to the farthest away position that he can see Snake from. And then he runs up and just basically does the loop there.
Yeah, I mean, I just like kind of held my breath for all that. So it's so easy to kind of not deal enough damage to him, not get the loop going in the first place, be too slow if you like. It's so involved with the different menus and switching items and stuff. Keeping him in that loop is honestly quite difficult. And once he kind of gets away from you, you're just kind of nervous because if you're right at the end of it and then he gets away from you, you know you're gonna have to reset the entire fight and do the whole thing again because you never want to go just looking for the end. You don't want to like pull out your D mic and try and listen out for him, go looking for him. It's just too slow, right? So I'm always like happy with that. Always like happy for an end that ends that quickly.
And now we can just appreciate the ladder. Everyone loves it.
It's atmospheric.
Yeah. But I'm still like, why did I even put it in here? Just to show off the song again? Or why? Or maybe they intended like seeing this on a marathon and did it for like donation, so that someone can get in donations after all the buses and this whole stuff.
I think it's funny that like he obviously like it's kind of detrimental to a speedrun to have a 3-minute ladder, but like whenever this run's done at marathons, people love it. Like people love this part.
Yeah, the song is nice though. I sadly can't hear it.
Alright, so Mountain 1 is hell. I say that a lot, right? I'm always like, it's hell, but it is hell, I promise you.
This whole round is hell in European Extreme.
Yeah, Mountain 1, we normally do a strat where we manipulate the guards to just barely see us and begin walking towards us. But instead, I'm just going to practice my Call of Duty skills and headshot every guard.
Yeah, it's like your camo index. When you run this normally, you play around with the vision and the camo index, but with a tuxedo, you just throw it all out the window and just headshot everyone.
Oh, yeah.
The most annoying
yeah,
part is if you miss a single shot, the guard will go in his radio. And I do have a hilarious backup if that happens, but I hope I don't have to show it you. Because it
I
involves
don't even know the backup.
it's nuking all the backup guards with the Patriot in the prone position. So it's normally this guard that'll do it. There's one to the left somewhere that I've missed. I can't stress enough how far away these guards see you from. And I've made kind of an error. I should have left 2 bullets in my gun, but I've only left 1. 1 is okay, 2 is better. Because I need to shoot 2 bullets basically before I pick up my next ammo package. In Mountain 2, the guard's going to notice me straight away and begin walking towards me. So I'm just going to put 1 trank in him like this, and I've now run out of bullets for this gun. So I'm going to have to headshot this guard with a lethal round and not miss. So that's good. So yeah. So because of that, I'm a little bit slower in this room than I generally want to be, but that's okay. We should just be able to make our way up the mountain now in the box. We've kind of like taken out all the the dangerous obstacles that'll be in the way. Again, we're using a box to climb up the mountain because it's faster. Everyone knows that if you get in boxes, you're able to move up hills faster. That's just like real life. Sometimes this guard can be facing the other way because I was so slow, and sometimes he can turn around as we get there, which is really annoying too. But we're okay. We're okay.
Yeah, so he just sees like, oh, a box, and just run by. So Mountain 2, there are 3 mountain parts.
Fuck.
Mountain 2 is like the part which stays kinda the same.
That was just
So,
because
like
I
I
was
was-
so slow.
This was just an RNG minute, so
It's so small on my screen, and it's got to be like perfect.
The 1911 sights are also very hard to make long-range shots with, so that's a pretty tough shot to make right there on that second guard.
I'm just gonna be way safer with the mountains if I'm slow up there. At the top, normally you can get right up to the rock before the guards will begin to notice you, but I'm just just a little bit slow there. Normally I'd say, honestly, this is like one of the easier rooms in the run, but I'm just a bit nervous, guys.
I don't think it's easy. I think it's quite tough. It's
Yeah.
also one of the most costly to take a continue on, for
Yeah,
sure.
So
Also,
we're gonna make it this
also-
time. We're gonna make it.
so even if it says like it's an easiest thread, it's not easy. It's easier, not easy. And also like safe stuff can also go wrong.
I'm sure I hit that guard in the head.
You did. You got him. Oh, in the head.
I don't know what you mean.
He's asleep, isn't
Probably
he?
did. Yeah.
Working as intended.
And roll the boxes. And remember when I said Mountain 2 is like pretty much similar? Mountain 3 just throws it all out the window. So I guess it's like the only thing you do the same.
Yeah, the roll, distraction roll.
Yeah. This guard normally won't come down here, but because of your bad camo index, they saw you. Yeah. This all has to be. This all is very precise. If he's a tad too slow, he can't get the guard up top with the barrel, and also he can't like. I forgot how to speak. I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah, Mountain 3 is slightly different because we are the first guard that notices as we walk into the room puts the whole room like on a timer. He begins walking towards you, so the regular strat doesn't work. So we have to go through the trenches and take out 2 guards very quickly to get into a position that lines up with where the top guard walks towards the barrel. And then we can shoot the barrel, which makes the last guard that we're going to go near go onto his radio, and once he goes onto his radio, he's very vulnerable to me peeking over and headshotting him, which is handy. It's just like it's not the most difficult room, but like you know, once you get familiar with the mechanics of this game, but it's just very tight, and if you kind of like bump a wall or anything like that on the way, you're gonna be destroyed. I don't know what the hell happened there, but that might cause me to get caught. That was so weird. I got like the fall damage,
That looked
but
so weird.
normally you just land on that ledge
Like-
with no fall damage, but who knows?
Yeah, if you
I
miss
don't
your
know.
roll just barely, there's like 1 or 2 pixels where you can take fall damage, but still slide off. It's really weird.
I was kind of worried that would cause me to get caught, because if you spend too long there, you will get seen by the guard. This boss is the Fury. It's a hard boss. It doesn't matter what clothes you've got on. It's a tough old boss.
Yeah, like normally it's like I would say one of the toughest bosses, but it goes 2 ways. Either it looks like the easiest boss ever,
Well, it looks
or
like this.
that happens.
I'm just going to reset anyway. Well, I'm dead, but I was just going to reset anyway. Occasionally, the Fury is completely invincible when he's dealing damage, when he's firing his flamethrower. Sometimes after you hit him, he can just immediately go into a flamethrower phase anyway, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, and here you see fireproof boxes because cardboard boxes are fireproof.
Yeah, if you get hit by flamethrower while you're in the box, you don't catch fire, just like in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was moving. I could tell by his...
So unfortunately, the Fury escaped from the loop there. The ideal strat is that you'll shoot him 3 or 2 times, and then bait him into shooting at you with the flamethrower,
Too much
which
fire.
then tries to make him jump, use his jetpack and jump away. And he has a long charge-up animation for that, so he can use that time to get in more shots. And if you have a perfect loop, you'll just do that 3 times, and the fight's over.
He keeps going into like a walk cycle. This rarely ever happens. And now he's done the fly off.
Just no scoping out of the air.
Nice.
First try.
You don't understand how much I didn't want to take another continue there.
The Fury has a
I understand
reputation
you
for
don't worry.
being an absolute run ender, so that's
Yeah.
really not too bad of a Fury for a marathon setting. That's perfectly fine.
What's annoying is like all the NGS freerunners, like obviously they're all good players. And if you look at like everyone's kind of marathon runs of the Fury, they all just go exceptional, and it's so annoying because that fight is genuinely really hard.
And when it's done well, it looks like it's the easiest thing in the world.
It looks like nothing. I did a run for the GDQ hotfix, and me and Plywood were commentating, and we spent so much time like hyping up the fight and talking about how rough it is, and then I got like the perfect left side loop, which it's just like ridiculously quick. It's like 12 seconds. But yeah, so what? We're past it. We're over it.
So, and now we can see the guards in this game are like highly intelligent. Or more like really focused. They're really scared for their bodies. Like if they see that on the body, everything else just got completely blank. They have to look for their body.
Yep. This room's really, really hard.
Yeah. So he will throw his smoke there. So, and now he will pull out the gun so he doesn't cough. He shot in there to get a caution.
Nope, that's the first time I've ever missed that Rykov box headshot. I was starting to think, I got it in my head that it's like the freest thing in the world and I'll never miss it. That's genuinely the first time I've ever messed it up. This
Yeah,
room is
like,
so difficult, honestly, I can't express that enough. When you hold the gun up here, you go into like a state where you can't cough, but then you have to cough after you've fired. If you go too soon or too late, it doesn't work. There we go.
There we go.
It's such a hard room. I can't even like. It's so because you can't like CQC and you can't like get anywhere near Rykov in your tuxedo. It just makes it a lot harder. You can still get caught here as you walk in him into the thing because there is 2 guards literally staring at my position. They come out the door and they see me carrying Rykov, and then they all stop and they get like the blue exclamation mark. It's something to do with Snake carrying Rykov that makes them not like alert as fast as they would normally. Because it's kind of like there's an extra interaction for the guards for that, and that's just what gives you just enough time to carry him into the locker room. So it's very lucky it works like that. We're mostly out of the hell portion of the game now.
Yeah, so after that section it gets a little bit more chill and
We get a 45-minute unskippable cutscene, which is nice.
I thought it
Yeah.
was like 50, 55 minutes, something like that.
Yeah,
Is it not?
yeah, it sounds about right.
About an hour, so give or take. At least it's nothing like the Stillman cutscene in MGS2, which is like, dude, that thing's like a solid 3 hours.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably, I think it's the longest
True.
cutscene in all of Metal Gear, and it won an award for being the longest cutscene.
Definitely.
If you think we're talking crap, it's because we are. We do that a lot. Sorry.
that's pretty normal.
During this unskippable cutscene, I just want to say, like, we're in day 2 of this marathon. Our goal originally was $200 to raise for Philo. We've raised 544. I'm going to turn the game sound off for a second because this is a grim moment of the game. I want to thank you, everyone who's taken part, everyone who's ran in it. Limes, obviously, when I said should we do this, he was just like all for it and jumped into it both feet first. Just like I can't express enough like how much I love being a part of this community and just how great everyone is. You know, I consider all of you friends, and I just wanted to say something. Basically, I'm tired. I've been awake a long time, and I love you all.
Yeah, also for me, I can't express it enough. Like, this community is just so insane. I never felt like more welcome in the community than I did here. Like, everyone is just so nice, willing to help. Not even with the runs, like also like we do now. Also on a personal level, if you have trouble, like everyone's just like, yeah, here, we're gonna help you. Don't worry, we got you.
Yeah, and if you want to be a part of this community, if you're not already in the Discord, please join it. It is a really, really cool Discord.
Yeah, it really is.
We have a very generous community here at Lime City, and we're all very grateful for that. We're all looking out for each other at all times.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn this on. I can't see where the hell I'm up to. This part of the... Oh, still grimness. This part's unskippable. That's because Appel hasn't bothered to find a skip yet. Personally, I think he's being lazy, and he's not trying.
Yeah, like...
And for those of you who aren't in the know, Appel is an absolutely famous glitch hunter in MGS3 history. He has found so many of the skips and glitches that we use. It's actually incredible.
Yeah, it's something that I want to mention as well. D Limes has nearly got 100 subs on his YouTube. He really would like 100 subs to get that special URL. If you could sub to him on there, it is completely free to subscribe to YouTube. Excuse me. I've lost count of how many spins I've doing, so I'm just going to do some more and make sure I throw up. You've got to spin 10 times to throw up. And this bit's quite intense. It doesn't look that hard, but beating up that guard is frame perfect. No, I'm just kidding. It's not really, but this next trick is.
Yeah, so in the cell, he kicked the red to pick it up. He needs it to... The throw is frame perfect. He needs it to distract the guard. And now he will use the footstep cancel again to get behind these guards. If he doesn't throw the red at the right time, the guards will just turn around and see him.
Yeah, and just if you're thinking, oh my god, he's not wearing the tuxedo here, it's part of the game where you literally can't. You don't have any of your items during the escape until you meet Eva a bit later, so I won't be putting it back on until then. This is like, these rooms are kind of like legendary in speedrunning this game, because it's the first rooms after your load trick's gone, where if your run dies, you'll have to set it up again. And then there's, they're not like the hardest rooms in the run. They are when you do it wrong like that, but no, it might be okay. They're not the hardest rooms in the game. Oh crap. I'll start again. They're the hardest rooms in the game. They're just very precise. So I want to throw this smoke grenade not too high. I need to land it in the right place. Oh my god. It's like I never mess these rooms up. What the hell is going on? I apologize.
So his
goal... There has to be a first time for everything, no?
The goal here is to throw this smoke grenade in such a way that it encompasses the guard on the right, so that way he can't see or hear Snake, because when a guard is inside of a smoke grenade, they actually go pretty much dumb and just don't react to Snake at all. But also, the guard on the left has to be behind the smoke grenade, so that way he can't just get a clear line of sight on him while he's trying to run through the room. And you'll see how close it is to getting an alert, because even before he throws the smoke grenade, excuse me.
I have literally never messed this room up this many times. I'm honestly starting to like doubt if I've ever done this room before.
Yeah, normally I'm doing this room because he messed it up.
I've like...
That's just like such a precise movement in that room.
Nice, there you go.
Honestly, if I got seen again, the PlayStation 3 was going out the window. Honestly, I have played this game before.
Oh, you for real? You played it before?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I just feel like just among friends, but an ESA GDQ, I was nowhere near as nervous as this. So sorry about these continues. And yeah, my boy Connor's in the chat, and I'm probably getting flustered because he's watching. So, yeah, sorry for the mistakes. In fact, before I drop down here,
Happens to the best of us.
I fooled you into thinking I was going to drop down there, but I'm actually going to get this life med, because based on how this run's going during bike chase, I'm going to get set on fire multiple times and stuff, so...
All for the safety.
So yeah, I'd love to say, oh, it's because it's the tuxedo strategies and I'm just getting used to it, but like, I've done that room 100 million times, and it's just one of those days, I guess.
Like, I have to be fair. I literally, when I watched him play, I literally saw 90% just until the Fury and then a reset. So excuse me if I don't know all the strats for here.
It's okay, Major's done the end game once or twice, he should be good for that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy that he is here as well, because otherwise it would be only Apache talking now. I mean, I know the end game, kinda, but I know the beginning in and out.
This cell is a kind of prison escape where you're running down here. I'm honestly not even sure if you can get caught during this section. I think maybe the dogs can catch up to you, but it should never happen, basically. Here we're going to drown ourselves.
Yeah, normally in the run you can also just walk all the way down, because the Sorrow doesn't count your in-game time, which is the timer used for Metal Gear speedruns. So you could also just walk all the way to the end of the Sorrow.
Yeah, and that's something we only found out very recently. So that was Major who found that as well. So basically you could, yeah, as she said, you could, if you wanted to, pick up the spirit camo in every single run by getting to the end of the lake, because it won't count towards your in-game time. We kind of just acknowledged it, like, you know, the people who speedrun this game, and just kind of said, ah, well, we'll just get over it. Like, there was no desire to kind of switch to RTA because of that. I think we all like using IGT for these runs. I do like timing to the full second as well. So yeah, I'm about to get the tuxedo back. Before we can get it back, we're going to get literally the longest loading screen you've ever seen in your life. It's ridiculous. It's about 4 minutes, right, Major?
Yeah, about. It's really long.
So
I would even say 5, depends on
the
depends
hardware.
on how,
Yeah, on the hardware, and on PS2 it's like 20, 23 minutes, something like that. It's pretty bad.
There's some guys who
Yeah.
started a speedrun on PlayStation 2 a few years ago, and they're still at that load screen now, so it's a rough one. Now, I'm running on the SSD, PlayStation 3 Super Slim, which is loading this game pretty fast. I've got a digital version as well, the Japanese version, which is unpatched. If you think that all sounds complicated, try running this game. It's it's awkward. It's awkward. It's like, oh, nice speedrun. Could you just tell me what version you were running, what hard drive you had in your PlayStation, which PlayStation model you had, which controller you used, the temperature outside while you were playing, and then I'll do some math in my head.
By the way, here you will see he doesn't wear the tuxedo now. This is just because he has to do a big menu at the end of the room, and he will just pick up all the stuff before. Otherwise, he will have to do 2 menus, and even loading up the menu, like he didn't start, it will take like 6 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
pausing and unpausing is like 6 seconds. I've completely blanked on the weapons that I need. Don't need the stun grenade. So much to remember.
And here you will see him pick the box. This box will actually save a lot of time because it allows you to fast travel.
Yep, we're Oblivion now, fast traveling. It lets you go directly into the hangar, which saves so much time. This room's kind of stupid.
So basically what he did is he used the box to get the attention of that first guard, which makes him walk away. And as he's walking away, he's going to headshot the guard in the middle, which makes the guard in the back notice him and start walking towards him.
Yeah,
but because
like I already said. If they see their bodies down, they are so focused on that.
They get absolute tunnel vision, and that guard in the back just walks straight to the guard and doesn't ever notice Snake in the box.
It's actually so funny how long you have to keep the box equipped, even when you're wearing regular camo in that room, to not get seen. And there's a guard that we kind of tried to work it out where he was, and basically there's a guard that sees you through the wall if you unequip the box too early, basically.
Yeah, just straight through the wall.
This room's a joke. It's like
Yeah, you have to plant the C3 at the... I don't know even what they're called. Like
fuel tanks, something
Something
like
like
that.
Yeah, they're liquid fuel tanks.
Yeah, liquid fuel tanks, that's the one. If you shoot them with a lethal weapon, they blow up. And if you shoot them with a non-lethal weapon, all the guards run away. Which I suppose they see it as like, oh my god, it's dangerous, they're going to explode, and they just leave, and it's great. It makes this room really simple. This next boss is Volgin. I can't CQC him, so I'm going to have to get a little bit invented with the strategies that I use against him. It's a bit of a harder fight on with Tuxedo.
he baited him into punching him, so he can shoot him in the back. Just run around a bit with them.
Oh, I've never seen him do this before. I've never seen him do that attack before, so I was like, I don't even know what the protocol is for this.
Here, you just like in front of him, and you'll see him stop shooting at him once he crosses his arms in front of his face, because you can't hurt him while he's doing that.
That was a really nice phase 2, I'm pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, the phase 2 was pretty good.
Huge important menu here. Unequip the SVD, re-equip the RPG, and then look at the floor. I'm going to turn my game sound down a little bit because it's like a super loud portion of the game. Let me know if it sounds okay on stream. Should be good. And I'm going to try not to take much damage.
Right now, like I remember seeing that before today somehow.
You want to try and damage as much of the Shagohod as you can when you get opportunities to shoot him. There's a little portion of his body that will deal very minor chip damage. It's difficult to get him to max damage on European Extreme. It's not impossible. In fact, it's becoming more common that you see runners do it, but it is difficult. It is very difficult to get into max damage. And with the kind of Shagohod loop that Major was demonstrating earlier, getting a full Shagohod loop is way better than getting him to max damage. Obviously, both is like prime, but if you're going to get one or the other, you'd really hope for a perfect loop. I'm going to try and do a visual glitch here. It's very inconsistent, but it looks cool when I get it. I never get it in Marathon.
No.
Basically, you can cause this cutscene to skip, but basically the cutscene still plays, but your view doesn't change. It's kind of a... You don't see it that often, so I always try and get it in Marathon runs, but so far I'm like 0 for 8 or something. I'll get it one day.
It's frame perfect.
Yeah, it's frame perfect,
Yeah,
that's the
it's frame.
thing. And when you've done this many frame perfect tricks in a run, you just can't do any more.
There's a cap, a limit. Cannot do more than like 3 in a row.
So I won't look at the floor too much, but there are certain bits that are just really, really laggy for the frame rate, so I'll try and avoid them. And on the runway, I'll show off a bit of Snake in the tuxedo because it looks cool. Is anyone else sweating, or is it just me?
No, I've gotten
It's
really
so
hot
warm,
during this run.
like-
is heating up.
Yeah, it's getting so hot.
Maybe because of the run.
There's a very specific like setup that you kind of let Eva move you into position to hit that RPG guard. There's RPG guards that kind of spawn on the roof and stuff. The RPG, not only does it do like a ton of damage, but it also like lags the game like crazy. So you lose like 10 seconds just for getting hit. And now, as long as we've killed... Oh, I forgot the other RPG guard for a second there. I really don't want to get hit by this because it's laggy. Right.
Yeah.
Panic over.
They could see it.
And there's one more at the end. In fact, just because of how this is going, I'm just going to equip that just in case.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the RPG does a ton of damage, but it lags the game as well, so we're just trying to avoid that as much as possible. We got those guards in time, so Eva moves on to the next stage correctly. You can lose a lot of time by not taking out the guards fast enough there. But now we'll just enjoy some Snake in the tuxedo.
So lag reduction has actually become a pretty important part of a Metal Gear Solid 3 world record attempt. We actually learned recently that using the subsistence camera or the cinematic camera here in Bike Chase loses you about 25 seconds throughout the entire Bike Chase just due to lag. So what we do in world record attempts is we either look up or look straight down, and reduces the lag as much as possible. It saves 25 seconds. It's actually a huge time save.
It's something I worked out from like looking at my splits, but Major went out of his way and actually timed it. He did this bike chase 5 times with all the different possibilities of how you can have your camera, and literally physically timed out you know, how much time there is to be saved. And I literally said to him, it's 25 seconds, and he went and timed it, and then he's like, it's 25 seconds. So it was kind of funny that, like, you know, I was right before. You know, he like did the actual science and proved it, but my theory was correct. I just thought that was quite funny.
You just know this game way too well.
It's just like, I'm just a nerd with my splitter. I must split at the same time every time, so it just worked out perfectly. But yeah, it's good to know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's good to know because like we know that Hikari's 1:17:30 has maybe 20 seconds of time save because of how much he uses the cinematic camera in his run, which is just like insane.
So here's the part on the runway where he can damage the Shagohod, and if you're really good with your shots and good with quick reloading, you can actually get that Shagohod down to about 2/3 health, which is the damage cap, and you can't do any more damage to it after that. But that requires some really fast, really precise shooting. It's really hard to do that because just like that, the Shagohod will back off if you hit his treads. And for some reason on the HD collection, the RPG has a much bigger splash radius for its explosion, so you'll hit the treads even though you're nowhere near them, and the Shagohod will just back off way more often.
It's like you can do it. You can like spam shots out faster than this, but if you do it faster than this, you're more likely to get a situation where he goes back. So you have to like kind of gambit and try and get the right timing for it. And obviously, like 2 knockbacks is like really bad. That's kind of rare that happens. But all the damage I did there is gonna like matter in the fight.
Curse of the marathon.
Yeah, obviously cursed.
Marathon lock.
Cursed. I mean, like, I am okay at this game, but it's just I'm just having a bad day.
That happens to the best of us.
Apache is definitely one of the best runners in the world. He's held the world record multiple times over. He was actually the first person to break the long-standing world record of 1:19:31, which stood by Hikari for over 4 years, and Apache was the first person to break that.
Yeah.
And since then, the world record has changed hand like, what, 4 times or something?
Yeah,
and Apache held it quite a while after that.
Yeah, I think it's five times, and it was twice by me.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my goals was to hold every single world record in this game for every difficulty, like simultaneously, and I managed to do that. So like, that's why I've sort of moved on to oh my fucking god, that's why I've moved on to Tuxedo for the time being. but I'm sure I'll be back on that world record train soon as well. The other thing is my right hand, well, my right wrist is damaged. I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with it, but I'm going for an MRI scan soon, so I'm trying to play not as much as I might normally, in case I exacerbate the injury anymore.
So what he's going for here is a loop on the Shagohod. Unfortunately, it broke out. The Shagohod can just break out of the loop all on its own, even if you have perfect execution. So it's very tough to keep this loop, particularly on European Extreme, where the RPG does very little damage. But the basic process is, as soon as you come into the fight, you'll equip the RPG, and you actually won't move your aim at all. You'll wait for a specific visual cue, and then fire the RPG at the treads, which will cause the Shagohod to stay in place, and also set up the timing for your shots later on in the fight. You'll wait for Snake to go around the back, shoot the Shagohod's weak spot, shoot it again, shoot the treads, which will keep it in place again, and you'll basically repeat that loop for the entire duration of the first phase of the fight. Very tough to keep that loop on European Extreme.
It's one of those Shagohods where it's got away from you and you're just like, oh, whatever, I'll just try and hit it as many times as I can now. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's like your execution's like so high for the beginning, but as soon as you lose it, you're like, ah, whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, this is rough. I should have put a dot in the center of my screen. That'd have been fine then. And that is the worst thing to happen, where you've just missed like dealing damage to the Shagohod enough where it has like 1 pixel of health, so you have to do an extra rocket. It's just like typical, right?
One more shot on the runway would have eliminated that, unfortunately.
Oh my god, he doesn't. Yeah.
Ooh. That's very rare. So basically, what he did is, as soon as the fight opened up, he shot an RPG shot straight ahead, which normally will hit the Shagohod 100% guaranteed. I'm not sure why it didn't there.
It's just broke the loop
but,
again. I kind of want to kill myself and start this fight again.
I think it would be interesting to see the... Yeah.
I'm going to try this again. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's definitely good to see this this loop done well. It's a very fun watch.
I don't know what's going on. Fortunately, phase 2 of Volgin, it doesn't like...
It doesn't restart you at the beginning of phase 1. Thankfully, if you get to phase 2, you're locked in at phase 2. So if you take a continue, it restarts you at the beginning of phase 2. So what he's done is he fired the shot at the beginning of the fight, and he's just going to switch to his SVD and headshot Volgin 3 times. So basically, shoot the treads, SVD once in the head.
Third shot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Just having a bad day, guys.
That's an RNG man-up. You had to do that.
Yeah. That allows us to skip the boss later. No.
If executed right, you can skip the boss completely. Let's see if you got it.
That feels rough. That feels really rough. But it's all worth it, you know. I said coming into this, it's fine. We're doing this limeade for Philo. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
This marathon shit happens. It's kind of cringe to mess up like the parts of the game that aren't affected by the tuxedo.
That has happened.
So this section of the game is pretty straightforward. Don't get shot, or get shot as little as possible. We know where the bikes are going to spawn in, so we can be kind of ready for them ahead of time. There can only be like 3 bikes on the screen, or 4 bikes in the later stages. So if there's like a driver on the bikes like this, no new bikes can spawn in with the gunner, so they'll do less damage. The most important guard to watch out for is the RPG guard in the second guard blockade. As I said earlier, guard RPGs ruin your whole life. It's bad times.
That one in particular is really bad because this area alone is already really laggy because it's a very like polygon dense area and it's raining, so you already have some visual effects to add on top of that. So if that guard shoots you and hits you, it forces Snake into the cinematic camera, which is again losing time all on its own, creating more visual effects, smoke, sparks, and whatnot. And it actually genuinely takes like 20 seconds for that animation to finish. And the game is slowing down during all of it. Thankfully, he got that RPG guard, so he doesn't have to worry about him.
and these platform guards, flying platform guards. One of them can just park above you. These have like, of any like gun in the game, these have like the highest DPS. So they literally just light you up. For example, I have 2 life meds and full health. If I didn't shoot these guards, they would rinse through all of my health and the 2 life meds, no problem, like nothing. I wouldn't even get to the tree in the road before I was dead, which is something I tested earlier because I wanted to see if there was a way we could just look down for the whole run with life meds. But they just have such high DPS. The other thing is they have a light on the bottom of the platform, and when it parks above you, if you look at it at all, it drops the game to like 5 FPS. It's really, really slow. Lower frame rate obviously ruins our life as well. And there's always one in the middle that genuinely wants to just always park above you, so we gotta watch out for him.
If he parks above you, he can light you on fire, which is just terrible.
I was going to say as well, fire is the only thing that's more damaging than these bullets. Fire has a ridiculously high damage per second. If you accidentally get lit on fire, or I say accidentally, if the game curses you and you get lit on fire, you can go into the menu and change camo, but we can't do that in Tuxedo, so we just have to take it. In this situation, obviously I would, but in the full game run, which I like to get a low... what do you think is a good time for Tuxedo? Maybe a low 120, something like that?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm going to go for that in the future, and obviously I wouldn't be able to remove the Tuxedo if I did catch fire, so it's just something that's going to be even more dangerous in this category. I think this run now is about a low 120, right?
Right about now, yeah.
Yeah.
When you get to the boss, maybe not. Right, if you finish the run right now, you would get like a 123.
We're almost there, so...
Yep, this is the final room of Bike Chase, so we're almost done with the auto-scroller. Thankfully, we just have a few more bike guards to deal with, and then we're out of here, and we're on to everybody's favorite escort sequence.
Yeah, the final room of the escort sequence is quite challenging with Tuxedo, but we should be fine. I feel like, hopefully I'm at my limit for mistakes now.
Yeah, thankfully there's not only a cap on frame perfect tricks, but also a cap on mistakes, so he's going to have a flawless run from here on out.
Some fun fact, I love talking about this, but when I did the GDQ hotfix, I'd never been on the GDQ channel before. I was very nervous, and I got to the end of my European Extreme run, and I'd had continues, but I hadn't had any alerts, and I felt really good that I hadn't had any alerts. And in the final room, Plywood goes, and just starting the final room with guards, Plywood goes, "Oh, you haven't had any alerts yet," and like my hands started like clamming up, and like I couldn't play. Fortunately, like I got through the room, but it's like he just put me on the spot for no reason.
Yeah, like, hey, you did not get any alert yet. You really had to say that right now.
Yeah, and I think, you know, all of us at some point in this game have had alerts in that final room. It's just like one misstep and you get seen, so...
Definitely, and the final room of Escort is actually also another really bad room to reset on, because you have to wait for Eva to walk to the end of the room, which takes absolutely ages. So if you take an alert, like on the last guard or something, it's pretty detrimental. It's like a minute time loss. Could be up to a minute.
Yeah, it's ruthless.
Definitely.
Something that I love to do, I always like to CQC Eva, like right just in this first room. But because I've got the Tuxedo on, I can't actually do that, so that's really sad. So I'm definitely not going to hurt Eva at all.
So what he just did there is he ate the noodles, which actually was a little time save found by Raichu a few months ago. If you eat the noodles now, you don't have to stop and feed her later on in the Escort, which is actually an HD exclusive strat, because
hey, didn't you just say you won't hurt her?
Liar. In PS2, the stamina drains faster, so you have to feed her in the second room no matter what.
Yeah, it saves about like six seconds. It's it's a great time save, and it works on every single difficulty. It's a really good one. But as I've said before, it's like, why did no one check? Like,
people just assumed from PS2 because they assumed it's the same as PS2.
Yeah, it's kind of like what people do with assuming stuff from like a Euro run to a lower difficulty, and no one checks anything else. It's like it happens exactly the same from going from console to another console. It really is like it really is like a different game. I didn't even try to make her go left. Look at that. Look at that magnet
Oh my
right.
god.
Like,
She was beelining it for right.
yeah.
But the important thing to remember, Apache, is that VE will never get sub-Euro ever.
Yeah, that's something that I was told about a year. Well, when I started running this game, I was informed that 119 was like kind of like a max time for the game, and also that Very Easy couldn't be much faster than European Extreme. I became obsessed with Very Easy. It was the first category I ran. I loved it, and I loved finding optimizations for it. It's now at a 1 hour and 10-minute run, so don't believe what people tell you. When you get into speedruns, don't trust anyone. Like, I don't care if they've been playing the game for 10 years. Don't believe what they say. They don't always know they don't always know the right answer to everything. Like, there's probably got a lot of good information. I'm not saying just, like, ask them a question and then be like, no, you're wrong. But just don't just in your heart believe everything you get told, because people can be wrong. And I think people have been really wrong at times about this game.
Absolutely. Apache, are we going to credits?
We'll see after the boss. If I don't get a reset in this room, then yeah, we may as well. In fact, if US is ready, I'll just get out of here as soon as possible. If US is good to start early, I'll start early.
So it's a rather famous pin in D-Lime's speedrunning channel in his Discord server. Never assume anything. Always question everything. And that absolutely is true in all speed games.
Yeah.
It's not like people don't do it on purpose, right? They genuinely think that they're correct in what they're saying. But at times, like, you can explore one section of a game and you can become really knowledgeable on like one thing, but you don't know everything still, and you can make a lot of assumptions. And we found that in, so far, I mean, the main games we kind of run are Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, and there's been a lot of assumptions in those games disproved.
Just a couple of days ago, Limes found a new strat for the rat where you would, instead of, you would eliminate the rat, I should say. Instead of looking for the rat and hoping you get good RNG, you would deliberately take alerts in the beginning of the game, and that would make the POW key spawn in the ditch instead, which ends up saving time. And everyone assumed it just wouldn't.
Yeah, so he eliminated Rat RNG and MGS1 just like last week, you know, casually. So yeah, just don't assume.
Don't assume. Always question.
So the final boss, the boss, we can't CQC her, so we can't loop her, and we don't have any stun grenades. We didn't pick them up, which was on purpose. We're not going to use them. We just have to fight her really well. So we can only do we have to do the riposte rather than the repel. And you can only like do the repel twice, so you have to be like perfect with your circle presses. Dare I say frame perfect to do this like reversal to her. And then I'm gonna shoot her twice in the head and then punch her, which knocks her to the ground, and then shoot her in the head. And I actually don't have enough. You don't have enough Mosin Nagant ammo to kill her using only the Mosin Nagant, even if you execute perfectly and don't miss any shots. So when she goes away, I will try and shoot her, but I won't like fight for it. I accidentally pressed it square. I find this fight a lot more interesting when it's done this way. You have to do it better, basically. You have to like play really well to do it. She won't do like the instant run to me normally. It can happen. There we go. That's not guaranteed though. That's just like RNG.
In the normal run, it's basically guaranteed to loop her like that, but because you can't CQC her to the ground, it's not guaranteed in the Tuxedo run.
So he just ran out of Mosin ammo, now he's going to finish the fight with the Mark 22.
I missed a shot on her there, which is unfortunate, but we should be okay. The other thing is, when she fires at us, she really lags out the game a lot, so that's kind of annoying. When the boss approaches you, she can either attack you directly or feign once, and I don't know what it is about that, but it makes people really mess up the fight a lot. It's precise, but it's not that bad. Never press it early, basically. But when I pull the trigger on the boss, if you could just let Limes know, when I pull the trigger on the boss, I'm going to end it there. So I finished a lot sooner, than expected. This would be about a 130, something like that. It's a decent time. I'm honestly happy with this. I'm relatively new to this run.
So we're gonna go ahead and take it to the credits.
Yeah, we go to the credits.
They want to go to the credits? We're going to go to the credits.
No, I'm saluting her, and I'm not crying. I'm not crying. This cutscene is so sad.
I love the boss. She's easily one of my favorite characters. But yeah, we'll just enjoy this. We'll ride it out through the credits, enjoy the music. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed a look at a very rough Tuxedo run. This is all very new to me. I'm always picking Major's brain, trying to find new strats for rooms, and then completely ignoring them because they're too hard. No offense, Major, you're too good for me, mate. You know, it's rough. I've not been doing it that long. I do want to submit this to marathons in the future, sans the continues. But I did want to show this off in the marathon because it's a fun run. There's a lot of interesting bits to talk about. It's something a bit different, right? And as Major said, it's never been done in a marathon setting before. It isn't really done single segment, so something a bit more unusual for you. Look out for it in the future. We'll get to look back on this moment and laugh at how bad some of the rooms were and how much better it is in the future. Final thing we do is we take the left revolver rather than the right one. Because the left one has the bullet in it and we can fire faster than Ocelot, so we can end the game sooner. It is a huge time loss to take the right one.
It's like 15 or 20 seconds. He takes ages to shoot.
Yeah.
Interestingly, there's actually 4 outcomes to that cutscene. You can take the gun and shoot him, take the gun and miss, let him take the gun, or you can take the gun and not shoot at all. And all of those have a different cutscene.
Learn it right, you. I'll think it'll be fucking broken to race this. I think it'll be such an interesting race. Hard as well. Really, really hard. But yeah, that was it. I'm going to drop out the mic, go lie on the floor for a little bit. It felt like it was a lot worse than it actually was. I'm actually quite happy with the time I finished with, to be quite honest with you, for what I was expecting. Thank you everyone for donating, subbing, being a part of this. Thank you to Mayu for commentating. It's the first time she's ever commentated on a Metal Gear run. Show some love in the chat.
Literally the first time I commentated anything.
Yeah, first time Major's ever commentated a Tuxedo run. Show some love for him in the chat. We're becoming a team on the
はい。グロズニー・グラードもグラーニン設計局も跡形もなく。確かに。ですが、必要な犠牲でした。ええ。確かに、ザ・ボスの処理は CIA の手で。ホワイトハウスも満足しているはずです。フルシチョフはこれで終わりです。次は、あなた方の時代。そう。すべての真相を抑えることは、アメリカ大統領の首根っこを抑えることにもなります。今後の外交にも切り札が。それでは、KGB 局長、また。はい、私です。ザ・ボスは見事に任務を全うしました。賢者の遺産は無事我々アメリカの手に。この資金があれば、ええ、賢者たちを再開できます。中国側には偽のフィルムを使わせました。今頃中国政府は大慌てでしょう。はい。アメリカ側に戻った資金はまだ半分です。まだ KGB に遺産の一部が。ええ、例の兵器は背任。そうです。こちらから持ち込んだデイビー・クロケットでグロズニー・グラード・モルトン。ええ、それもザ・ボスも。それとグラーニンから面白いものを手に入れました。全く新しい核攻撃システムです。いずれ役に立つ日が来るかと。はい。ジョン。いえ、スネークのおかげです。フルシチョフもそう信じています。ええ、我々の嘘。ことを荒立てる様子はありません。第二戦備体制も解除されました。ソ連側も私の正体には気づいていません。私が30スパイ、トリプルクロスであるとは。引き続き新政権とのコンタクトを続けます。はい。誰も私をアダムだとは気づいていないようです。ええ、それでは CIA 長官。